had this adrenaline coursing through me. I thought somebody was chasing me. I heard footsteps. It was like the street and the cars going by, and it was just, I didn't think we were gonna get away with it. And then the impossible happened, and we did. Shaquille O'Neal has been there, I don't know how many years, definitely since before I came to Temple in 2020. He kind of sat in this window in the corner of North Broad Street in Norris, just looking over the intersection. You know, everybody sees him when you walk by, either this way. He's the lord of this intersection.
This is Shaq's first time in daylight, probably a year. Breathing in some fresh air for the first time, isn't he?
It was like right before break, and I was feeling really bold-eyed, honestly, that entire weekend. And Julie Alley, of course, she texted me and was like, let's just go out. And she told me, like, let's go to Pi Lam. And at first I was like, you know what I mean? Because it's fucking Pi Lam. Well, it's my language, but it's Pi Lam, you know?
Hi, my name is Olivia Delpre. I'm Joelle's sister. So that weekend, she had invited me to Temple to go see karaoke Taylor Swift thing in West Philly. That was really fun, but there was definitely a different energy in the night that night, and we decided to go out again.
So I called Sydney and I said, where are you at? She said Pi Lam, which definitely, you know, I was a little sus about it, but she said the party was winding down. I thought, okay, it couldn't hurt to just go.
All of a sudden, Joelle and her sister show up. I was like, hey guys, like, how did you get here? And I don't know exactly like how like we started to like talk about getting the Shack, but all of a sudden like Sydney and Joelle were like, okay, like we're gonna try and do it. And I was like, all right, like I'm in, let's go. We tried to do it before, but failed very quickly. Actually, the boy told us to turn around and put it back, but we saw him and no one was in the room that he was in, so we're like, let's take our chances.
In Pi Lam, they kind of have this really cool foyer. It's a beautiful, beautiful building. There's frescoes on the wall. There's like statues everywhere. The ceilings are really high. The columns are just like beautiful.
And there's a side room, and Joelle and Sydney are in there trying to devise this whole plan to kind of get Shaq out. And there's two guys at the front door, and you know, I guess you could say I was feeling myself that night, because that's when I decided to take on the role of a distractor.
There was absolutely positively no one there except this one girl who was passed out in a chair. Hope she's okay. I'll pray for you, sister.
God bless her. There's this girl sitting in the chair, knocked out.
There's this one girl in the side room, and she's just...
I go up to the guy, I'm like, listen, you gotta help this girl, like she's really not okay, like this is a big deal. So he goes over to the girl.
So I go out and I decide to try and get the other guy talking, you know? So I walk out, and at this point I knew I had two routes that I could take. You know, I could really flirt him up, or I could cause a scene. And being me, I decided to cause a scene.
She had like this whole plot line just to make sure he just had his eyes away from the room.
You know, I start the waterworks, I'm crying, saying I'm terrified of going outside, that I'm too scared to walk home alone, and, you know, like, I just really feel like I need a man to protect me and get me out there. So, you know, I feel like he's looking at me like, okay, well, this is kind of strange, but I think he was like, okay, this is kind of strange. I just keep going. I don't break character, because I knew that Joelle and Sydney had a job that needed to be done, and I was gonna help that.
Eventually, we ripped him off of that wall. I think he was sealed on pretty tightly, or he was taped, but we ripped him off.
After Sid had yanked Shaq from the window, we were scrambling to find something to put it in, because we were like, if we cover him in something, then they won't see. But like, that wasn't good thinking, because he's huge. So like, we're looking, and I was like, the more time that we waste, like the less time we have, like someone's gonna catch us. Like every like worst possibility was like going through my head in this moment, and like there was just so much adrenaline like going through my body, so much stress.
I looked at Julia Alley and I said, go.
My focus was getting it out the door. So I went down. Joelle was on the steps. I ran down, passed it to Joelle, and we just ran as fast as we could.
I thought for sure one of their goonies were gonna run in after me. So we got this check. We whipped around this corner trying to hide in this alleyway, and that's when we celebrated the moment.
And we were screaming, we're like, ah! Like, oh, I'm sorry. But we're like, it's so ecstatic because we just pulled off the biggest heist.
Ocean's 11. We literally just stole Shaquille O'Neal. Ocean's
Goodbye.
4 over here.
All right.
The Shaq, like, that's like legendary. I feel like everybody knew. It had been there for years, like on Broad Street, where like everybody goes.
We did it, like us as women did it collaboratively. It wasn't just some one person job. It was such a collab. And
Being with two of my closest friends and my sister, just like that we had pulled off something in that moment was so special to me.
I don't really care. But it was monumental for me in the way that I got to weaponize my female energy, and you know that puts a smile on my face at the end of the day.
You might have not known about Pi Lam, but you knew about that Shaquille O'Neal. Like,
Everybody has those memories in college where I think you just know. You know that that's a significant moment. You're going to be telling your family and your friends about this for years to come, and this was the moment. This was the moment for me, is when I took the Shaquille O'Neal cardboard cutout from Pi Lam fraternity at Temple University,